What if I told you that walking 10,000 steps every day might not be the fastest way to lose belly fat? Because when it comes to fat loss, especially stubborn belly fat, more is not always better. One of our clients, a 38-year-old IT professional, was already trying to walk more, eating less, trying to lose belly fat. Yet his belly wasn't moving. 12 weeks later, he had lost 4 inches from his belly. Not because he started walking 10,000 steps every day, but because we improved the metabolic signals driving fat loss. And one of the strategies we used was the protocol I'm about to show you. Hi, I'm Payas Bharadwaj, a certified nutrition specialist and strength coach from the International Sports Sciences Association. Over the years, I have worked with more than 700 busy professionals struggling with stubborn belly fat, insulin resistance, low energy, and metabolic health issues. And I have noticed something interesting. The people who get the best fat loss results are not necessarily the people doing the most cardio. They are usually the people doing the right kind of cardio. Today, I'll show you exactly how my 40-30 protocol works, why it may be more effective than spending hours walking, why it works especially well after weight training, and how you can adapt it even if you have knee pain or can't run. Let's get into it. Now, before anyone misunderstands me, walking is fantastic. I encourage my clients to walk. Walking improves health, walking improves blood sugar control, walking improves recovery, walking improves stress management. But here's the problem. Most people have been told that walking 10,000 steps is the gold standard for fat loss. And that's not necessarily true. Research suggests that vigorous intensity activity may provide significantly greater benefits per minute compared to moderate intensity activity. Meaning, 1 minute of higher intensity effort may provide benefits that would require several minutes of moderate exercise to achieve. And this becomes extremely important for busy professionals because most people don't have unlimited time. They have jobs, meetings, families, responsibilities, which means efficiency matters. And that's where the 40-30 protocols comes in. Now, the protocol is incredibly simple. 40 seconds of hard effort followed by 30 seconds of recovery, repeated for 10 minutes. That's it. Now, here is exactly how I personally do it. I usually perform it after weight training. First, I warm up for about 5 minutes. You can walk, you can do reverse walking on the treadmill. You can gradually increase your heart rate. Then I begin 40 seconds running, followed by 30 seconds of walking. Then repeat 40 seconds hard, 30 seconds recovery. Over and over for 10 minutes. Now don't get stuck on my treadmill speed. For me, that might be speed 11 or 12. For you, it might be speed 7 or speed 8. The goal is not a specific treadmill speed. The goal is reaching a level of effort where your breathing becomes noticeably harder during those 40 seconds. Then allowing your heart rate to partially recover during the 30 seconds recovery period. After the 10 minutes, you can simply walk for a few minutes to cool down. That's the entire protocol. Now, how many days per week? This is very important. More is not better. This is not something I recommend doing every single day because recovery matters. Your joints need recovery, your muscles need recovery, and your nervous system needs recovery. For most people, 2 to 4 sessions per week is plenty. Personally, I like it doing after weight training sessions. So if you're training 3 or 4 days per week, that's usually the perfect place to add it. Remember, the goal is not to destroy your body. The goal is to create a powerful training stimulus, recover from it, and come back stronger. That's where results happen. Now here is where things get interesting. Most people think fat loss is simply about calories, burn calories, lose fat, simple. But your body is much more complex than that. When you perform short bursts of high intensity effort, you create a very large energy demand. Your muscles need energy quickly, your heart rate rises, your oxygen demand rises, and your body has to work much harder to keep up. Now, something interesting happens after the workout. Researchers call it EPOC, excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. That's a fancy way of saying your body continues consuming more oxygen and energy even after the workout has ended. In simple language, the workout is over, but your metabolism is still working. And that's one reason these shorter high intensity sessions can be so effective. Another benefit is insulin sensitivity. Your muscles become more responsive to insulin, meaning glucose can move into muscle tissues more efficiently, which may improve blood sugar regulation, and over time, better insulin sensitivity often supports better body composition and easier fat loss. This is also why many studies show improvements in visceral fat, the dangerous fat that sits around your organ, not just the fat you can see in the mirror. Now, this is the part most people never talk about. Why do I personally prefer doing this after weights? Because weight training has already done part of the work. Your muscles have already used the energy, your body is already warm, your heart rate is already elevated, and your muscles becomes more insulin sensitive after resistance training. So when you perform the 40-30 protocol afterwards, you are stacking one beneficial stimulus on top of other. It's not magic, it's simply an efficient use of time. Now, before you think, Pius, I have knee pain or I can't run, don't worry, because the power of this protocol is not the treadmill. The power is the heart rate pattern. We simply want short burst of high effort followed by controlled recovery. For example, if you have battle ropes, perform 40 seconds of fast battle ropes, then 30 seconds of slow marching or jogging on the spot. Repeat. If you prefer kettlebells, perform kettlebell swings for 40 seconds, then recover by marching on the spot or doing slow jumping jacks. Repeat. If your gym has a sled, push the sled hard for 30 to 40 seconds, then recover for 30 seconds and repeat. You can also use cycling, rowing, elliptical, swimming, stairs, or hill walking. Again, the goal isn't the exercise. The goal is creating short periods of high intensity effort followed by recovery. That's what we are trying to achieve. Now, here is another mistake. People hear about fat burning and immediately think I should cut all carbs. No, that's not the goal. This is not a keto protocol. This is not a zero carb protocol. You still need fuel, especially if you're training hard. The goal is providing enough carbohydrates to support performance while improving insulin sensitivity and maintaining an overall calorie deficit if fat loss is your goal. In practical terms, eat enough protein, eat plenty of vegetables, choose mostly whole food carbohydrates, control portions, and stay consistent. Because consistency beats perfection every single time. So if we simplify everything, the goal isn't to stop walking, the goal is to stop believing that walking is the only answer. The 40-30 protocol works because it combines high effort, recovery, improved insulin sensitivity, better cardiovascular fitness, higher metabolic demand, all in about 10 minutes, which makes it practical for busy professionals. Now, a quick question. Would you try the 40-30 protocol? Let me know in the comments below. And if you do try it, tell me what exercise you will use. Treadmill, battle ropes, kettlebells, cycling. I would love to know. And if you're struggling with stubborn belly fat, low energy, insulin resistance, or a waistline that just won't move despite dieting and exercising, then stop guessing. Watch the training at chimpanzee.com. I'll show you exactly how we help busy professionals improve metabolic health, reduce stubborn belly fat, build strength, and create sustainable habits without extreme dieting. We help you eat better without starving yourself, train smarter in less time, and build a healthier body that actually fits your lifestyle. Because the goal isn't just losing weight, the goal is becoming healthier, stronger, and more energetic for years to come. And if you found this video helpful, make sure you subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.